My name is JD Hollingsworth, and I farm with my dad in Southeast Iowa. I'm also the area soil health specialist in the Southeast area for the NRCS.
Okay, and why do you have cover crops?
Early on, when I first heard about soil health practices, I had a coworker come back and say, here's what you guys need to be doing on your farms. And I was like, it sounds great in a book, but it's going to be awful hard to get put on the land and still make a profit. And then within a couple years, I'm looking at some research, and I was like, man, I think this is what we really need to be doing. I remember riding with my dad in the combine, and we were bouncing across some ditches we had in the field, and I said, there's got to be a better way. And he says, well, we won't be getting these big rains all the time. Once these big rains kind of die back a little bit, we won't have all this erosion. And we all know we're still getting those big rains. So started looking at some no-tone cover crop back in 2013. And, a lot of times they say, well, it's going to take a while to see the benefits. We started seeing the benefits right away. And so the next year, my dad decided to try some cover crop and no-till on his own. And, we'd been no-tilling some soybeans before, but we hadn't really done a lot of corn no-till. So
what are the advantages and changes you've seen on the fields?
The biggest advantages, we are seeing way less erosion. The weed pressure is actually down in the spring. We've actually cut back on some herbicide usage with the cover crops. We do have a pass that we have to kill the cover crop, terminate in the spring, but later on we're seeing less weed pressure especially, and less winter annuals as well. We're seeing less runoff, caused by less ponding. Our infiltration rates are slowly going up. We've got a ways to go to get to where we want to be, but that infiltration, runoff, and then in the end the erosion, we're seeing a lot less of that.
Is there any advice you would give to anyone considering this practice?
I think my biggest advice to farmers starting out, do your research, talk with producers that are doing no-till and cover crops. Maybe start small, start in a backfield or something. Start small. Another thing that I think is kind of a key, planting beans into cereal rye or a cover crop is a little easier to do than planting corn into a cover crop. There's a little more management decisions that have to be made with the nutrients and especially nitrogen when planting corn into a cover crop. So, like I said, do your research, talk to farmers that have been doing no-till and cover crop. And another big one, reach out to your NRCS office. Like I said, I'm the soil health specialist for Southeast Iowa. We're hoping to get this full state covered with soil health specialists here in the next couple of years. So reach out to your NRCS office. There's a lot of guidance along there. So.